He walks in like Julius fucking Caesar, the fat prick. The quiz question. Which player has been promoted 3 times to the Prem but never kicked the ball in the Prem? It's me. You's a fucking out. I've told yous. Don't fucking go out. It's the same fucking faces every week. And they made up this bullshit. And it's so brutal what was going on at QPR that it's not even believable. I'm not a gambler. I was never a gambler. But I lost 700 grand gambling. So I'm like, bang, in shock. And he stood over me giving me the Roy Keane. And they're throwing chicken strips in and I'm diving in and getting them like a seal. I was like, what the fuck, man? Like, what are you doing, man? Jaywalking. I was like, fuck that, you just run me over. They're running the contract out from the office at QPR to the training ground, bit by bit, 1 page at a time, running it out. I'm signing it as we're doing a warm-up. I went to training 7 months in a row, every day, crying my eyes out, right? Listen, I don't give a fuck if anyone believes a word I say.
How are we doing? Welcome back. Rowan Vine Part 2.
You hear that?
Yes.
That is Manscaped working to the best of its ability.
That is my nose trimmer.
It's our nose trimmer. You hear it?
You were alright.
Big thanks to our sponsor for the episode, Manscaped.
Get it in your Britney Spears and all.
You know, unbelievable. The number one provider of precision engineering tools.
You can probably turn it off now, John.
For the family jewels. No, big thanks to Manscaped for sponsoring the episode. It's given me a new lease of life, this has, I'll be honest with you.
You read it?
It is.
Oh,
It's a good test on you as well.
Added confidence.
I tell you what else it's done as well. Rose is not coughing as many balls up, is she?
No, well, exactly.
Well, the cats do.
It's trimmed now, and before it was, I don't know, a bit like a mole coming up, submerging from the
long grass
in the shrubbery, and now it's happier. It looks happier.
Yeah, it looks cleaner.
It were a bit pathetic, really. It looked a bit sad in there, you know. But now it's more like like a meerkat amongst the dunes.
We don't like to see sad moles, do we?
No,
Nobody likes a sad mole.
Let's see chirpy
It's up and
meerkats.
it's happy and it's chirpy.
Yeah.
So when you're doing it, was it one foul swoop all off?
All off.
So it's a flipping good test.
Yeah.
So get it off that.
If ever there's a test, because I've seen that.
No nicks.
It's not great.
It's filth. That's what it is. Filth.
It looks happy.
Yeah, it didn't look happy back in the day. It looked filth. That's what it looked. There were bits of also a bit of cornflakes in it and also.
You can just picture a sad mole to a happy meerkat.
Yeah. Exactly. He's up now.
He's
when I unbutton, he's happy.
Yeah.
And you too, ladies and gentlemen, can have a happy penis. All you've got to do is get your Manscaped on the go.
A happy penis.
It's got a strut, and we've got a special offer, as always.
Of course we have.
For you Under the Cosh listeners, the Manscaped Performance Package. Are you interested in what you get with the Manscaped Performance Package? I'm sure you are. You get the Lawnmower 3.0.
Is that?
Precision trimming. No nicks. You also get the Weed Whacker, which John is continuing to demonstrate. Again, that is my Weed Whacker.
That's it at work, that.
You get a lovely pair of boxers, the good gruds as
They
well.
are very good.
Snug little
In fact,
fit.
they're my favourite. They've gone straight in as number one.
Yeah.
Just comfortable.
They're not the Jeff Banks off top spot.
Yeah.
You get a travel bag as well. So when you're out and about, you can take it with you. Aftercare, we're talking the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant. We're talking Crop Reviver Ball Toner. And don't forget, you can take full advantage of this offer by going to www.manscaped.com and use the code COSH20.
Two-tone.
Talk me through two-tone. You know when you were in a boy
What genre are we
band?
talking?
What?
What genre are we talking?
Multi-genre. Yeah, a bit of R&B.
Bit of everything?
Yeah, a bit of R&B. McSheffrey brought like the Polish house music to the table. I'm a bit of a London, got a bit of house and garage and all that. Cammy from Huddersfield, couldn't work that out ever. don't know what was going on. Danzy, Scouser, but Danzy's got a bit. He can sing. Danzy can sing.
What's Polish house music like?
Well, it don't exist, but he looks a bit Polish. Sheffield looks a bit Polish, doesn't he? And then it's like, trance music, right, for you.
Right.
But
So when you say you had a boy band, like what? I mean, what?
no, mainly covers. Not much original stuff. Mainly
Not originals.
Just in your own rooms, or?
No, we done a few gigs.
Did you?
Yeah. Well, no, we didn't. But we done a few hotel room gigs.
Yeah. So in your own rooms.
Got to tune out of a few people. Yeah. No, we called ourselves Two Tone. Like I say, cover band. We didn't write much original stuff. We were playing football as well. It was getting in the way, to be honest. But we were out and about. You know what I mean, I signed and I stayed in the Malmaison. So yeah, I've signed in January, and obviously I know Gaz from he was at Luton with me, and I've known him, and yeah, we were roommates at Luton for a little while, and Gaz is one of the people. He's one of a proper friend in football, if you can have such a thing. But so then I knew sort of Danzy a little bit, and it was just quite young lads going out and everything like that, and so this two-tone thing started, and we was towing the line a little bit, but when we started losing games, we were the ones that got it. Do you know what I mean? Because
from who? Like, did they make it to the press?
No,
they're in a boy
Two-Tone.
just the other lap. Yeah.
Underground movement.
So basically, I mean, I don't want to take it down, but it sounds like it's the four of you singing in your bedroom.
Yeah.
Thing is, little Chris, me and you had a good relationship. Then.
He's fucked it.
I thought this was going somewhere.
I know.
He's just topped it up on the wine, and now he's going a bit spiteful. Who needs to kill my fucking dream? The two-tone, eh? Hey, listen, we had it all.
I was hoping you were going to take it further.
No. The problem. This is the problem. We started losing games of football, which was nothing to do with two-tone. We were must.
It weren't Two-Tone's fault, was it?
So we played against Barnsley away, I think. Barnsley away on a Saturday, Easter weekend.
That sounds like a good track to
Barnsley.
debut track.
So we lost to Barnsley 1-0 away. I didn't play. I don't think I played. I might have done. I didn't do a lot. But Danzy was definitely, Danzy played. I think Gaz played as well. Cammy, I'm not too sure. So we lost 1-0. Right. I think it was Barnsley. It was somewhere like Barnsley, but it was somewhere. We lost 1-0 anyway, and the gaffer's giving it. No one goes out tonight. No one. We got Leeds on Tuesday. No one goes out. But Two-Tone have got a gig.
In room 403.
You're speaking this like you're like a different person, like a
Professional outfit.
Yeah, Two-Tone have got a gig. Sorry, Brucey. Two-Tone have got a gig.
So we had a gig in Birmingham City Centre that night. Supposed to play a couple of bars, maybe a strip club, maybe. Do you know what I mean? That's where we were supposed to be playing. So we had to call it off. So we weren't happy. But by chance, we got a gig in Leamington Spa. So we've said we'll fulfil our fucking agreement, contractual agreement,
Obligations.
Of course. So we've gone to this bar, a couple of bars in Leamington to have a few drinks. It's a meet and greet. You meet and greet, have signs and that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Signs? What signs? Are you signing as a boy band here or signing as footballers?
Well, either or, you know. fucking jack of all trades, didn't we? So we were in Leamington, and we're having a nice night and everything like that. So we're in on the Sunday. We get to training Sunday. Cammy's late, so obviously when these meet and greets, you get on the free champagne and you get
Understandably so.
You have to. You can't be rude. So we've had a few drinks, whatever. Go to training the next day. Just Cammy's late for a start, so we're on the back foot already. Two-Tone are up against it.
Two-Tone.
He's giving I need to see 4 people after training. You know who you are. And I'm like, is that Two-Tone? I'm thinking we might have got away with this. Is anyone else out last night? No. Like, that's us, boys. Anyway, so we got to go in the office, and I'm saying to Danzy, like, listen, like, let me do the talking. Danzy's a fiery scouser. Like, he won't take it laying down, but I'm like...
You're the voice of the band.
You're Louis Walsh, aren't you?
I'm John Lennon. I'm John Lennon of the Beatles. At this point, I'm John Lennon of Two-Tone. So I'm saying, Danzy, slow down, mate. Let me do the talking. Anyway, we go in there, and he's just give it... Well, you's a fucking out. I've told yous. don't fucking go out. It's the same fucking faces every week. You. And I'm like, all right. And he proves it. And he gives
Ceremony, can you?
And I'm like, well, all right, yeah. He's got spies everywhere, apparently. So we know, well, I think Eric Black lives in Leamington, so it ain't that hard to work out. Do you know what I mean? There's
Posters outside.
There's flyers 2 times.
Meets and greets.
2 times a night, yeah. So, but anyway, yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. There was a lot of things, and he weren't for me. He's not my cup of tea. The best one, you'll like this one. I'm going to pick my brother up. This one could go. I'm going to pick my brother up from Bristol Airport. If he's coming back from Greece or whatever, flying down there. I get in the car and that, I like to do a bit of a sing-song, you know what I mean? So I think because of the two-tone stuff's happening, I think I'm doing a bit of Champagne Supernova. As I get to the good bit, fucking number comes up on the screen. I don't know the number. And I'm like, fuck, just about to nail it. Fuck it, pick this up. I'm like, hello? Viney, Brownie. I'm like, Brownie? He's like, Phil. I'm like, Phil Brown, Hull City manager. I'm like, yeah, what do you fucking want? He's like, big pals with Brucey, he's giving me a number. I want you to come and play for us. Like, he's giving my number, so he's phoned me, but hasn't said nothing to me, because he's trying to get me out. This is when we're in the Prem, he's trying to get me out.
You know that.
I already know, because he's pulled a few tricks in pre-season on the tour and stuff. He's going about it in a bad way. He ain't being a man about it. He's a shithouse. You can put that in, he's a definite shithouse. So I've got the call off Phil Brown. Fucking hell, if there's 2 people in football that look in the mirror and have a wank, it's Phil Brown and Alan Pardew, right? So he's having himself, and he's saying to me, I want to sign you, come in, score the goals and that. The minute he said, Brucey gave me your number, I weren't listening to a word. I was cutting him off and said, listen, I'll be honest with you, mate. I ain't coming anywhere near Hull. And it ain't nothing to do with you or Hull City, because I reckon you've got a chance of going up this year. I ain't coming to sign for you because he's gave you my number and he ain't even spoke to me about going on loan, and that's poor. I said, so appreciate the call, mate, but I'll speak to you another time, whatever. Bam, put the phone down. With that, I come off the phone, text my mate who's a plumber. Said to my mate, hey, here's Brucey's number. Just give him a call, see if he needs any plumbing work doing, or send him a text or something. So my mate's fucking firing messages in at Brucey, like, I've heard you've got a problem with the downstairs toilet, like, do you want me to come and have a look? And he don't know where it's coming from. But I said, like, we had it out a bit, and I said, you ever give my number to someone when he ain't spoke to me? That's what I'll do. I'll give your number out to my pals. My pal's a plumber, he just wants a bit of work and all. Do you know what I'm saying? Ended up, they signed Fraser Campbell and he scores 14, they get promoted. So they've signed the right one anyway. So I've done him a right turn.
Did you finish Champagne Supernova?
No, I was fucking well off it. It's gone. That pissed me off and all. I was right in a bit, but nailing it.
Head up your ass.
Trying to get it right for the two-tone fucking...
So on that then, so if Brucey had said, look, I've given your number to Phil Brown, he's going to ring you, you might have gone to Hull.
If he'd have pulled me and said, I've been at the club 6 months, do you know what's happened? I've signed in January, I've bought a gaff in May, it's gone through in August. I've started the season in the Prem. By September, I'm on loan. My missus has just moved with a 3-year-old and a newborn to Solihull in the village, and I'm down the road. So it ain't even about, it's just about respect. He could have pulled me in that pre-season trip in Germany and said to me, we don't want you. He tried to swap me for Paul Robinson, the left back for West Brom, and I knew he tried to do it, and he didn't speak to me, and it didn't happen. And I probably would have gone to West Brom, but the way he'd done it was so snaky. I just thought, fuck you. So I stayed, played a few games, played Carling Cup and that. Oh man, I was on the bench, right, for 3 games in the Prem. This is the nearest. It's a quiz question. Which player's been promoted 3 times to the Prem but never kicked the ball in the Prem? It's me. I'm proud. I'm proud of that. I'll take that one. I'm still trying though. So anyway, he's trying to get rid of me, right? I'm on the bench. We're playing West Ham. We're 1-0 down, 20 minutes to go. Matthew Sadler has been injured. He's been out trained for 5 weeks. He's sat in front of me. 1-0 down with 20 to go at home to West Ham. Ain't got a point on the board. Turns round, you're going on. Points at me. Obviously, I'm a striker. Start zipping down the coat. 2 minutes of getting ready, pads on. He turns around, what are you fucking doing? I'm like, going on, isn't that? He went, no, you. So Sads turns around and says, Vine, I'm sorry, mate. He takes He takes Fabrice Muamba, he takes someone off, not Fabrice Muamba, someone else, takes someone off from midfield, he puts Stephen Kelly in midfield, and then he changes Sadler, he changes 4 changes, and we lose 1-0. Cut to the Tuesday, I'm raging and training Monday, Tuesday, I go and see him, I'm like, Gaffer, what were you doing on Saturday, mate? We're beating 1-0 and you put a left back on, and then you change the left back to right back and the right back to midfield, and we need a goal. Nah, I didn't do that. I'm like, no, you fucking did, mate. I'm fucking watching it. I'm fucking trying to come on. No, I didn't do that. Someone must have been injured. I went, no, they weren't. So from then, it had just gone. It had gone. So I had to go.
So do you think you were half clueless then?
Massively clueless. Listen, I don't give a fuck about people that have had success. What we perceive as success, promotions, keep them up from relegation, stuff like that. If you're crap, you're crap. If you're crap, get good people around you. Eric Black's one of the best number 2s there's been, right? Steve Bruce hasn't got a fucking clue. Steve Clements, love Steve Clements, obviously, as well, with Ray Clements, rest in peace as well. Lovely guy, only met him a couple of times, but like, that's my opinion. Like, that's my opinion. That's how I see it. I've had 27 managers, professional managers. He's put it for me, shit, but that's my opinion. It doesn't matter, does it? What your opinion might be different, so is yours.
Who's the best manager?
Best manager I had was Paulo Sousa, and I played 1 game for him. But Paulo Sousa was one of the best number 4s of his generation, the Portuguese, like the golden era, Figo and all that. And he was a good manager, and he came in at QPR, and structurally he was good. I like the foreign managers anyway. I'm not massive on the British managers of that time. Now a little bit different.
Strange considering we've heard it time and time again about that personal aspect of just being told, being honest and being truthful in what's going on. And I imagine that's not. I mean, I imagine that the foreign managers, that's even further from the relationship, because you're getting other people.
I think in football, mate, I've had to face a lot of things, and I think in football, people will go so far and make some very, very weird decisions just so they don't have to look in the mirror. And what you have to do before anything is look in the mirror, and people will look for excuses, players, managers, everyone, and most of them are chasing a pound note, greedy as fuck, will use the game and use players to get themselves a position. And that's what I feel about a lot of people. And if I don't make a connection with people on a football basis, then I have to form the opinion that they don't see football the way I do, and whether I see it right or wrong, or people don't agree with me, that's their opinion. Everything we talk about is an opinion, especially in football. And people love Steve Bruce. People love Neil Warnock. I think they're both cunts. I don't know if you can say that, so I think they're both pricks.
No, you can, yeah.
So basically, that is my opinion for different reasons. But to be honest with you, I'm not mad at either of them. And I don't mind Steve Bruce at all, because he's not a nasty person at all. Right,
so if he'd have said to you before your missus moved up to Birmingham, look, like, before you buy this house, move your family up, it's not going to work out, you'd have had much more respect for him.
Yeah, much. I went to speak to him one day and said, like, why did you sign me? And he went, well, you scored 3 goals against my team. And I'm like, fucking, is that it? I goes, well, Blackie likes you. And I'm like, well, but because like on your day, you're like Cameron Jerome. I'm like, I've never played like Cammy in my life. Like, I played, you know what I'm saying? He didn't know.
Singer. Granted.
Yeah, he had the chiselled 6-pack and that though, Cammy. That's why he's in the band. Let's have it right. He's got all that going on.
Mate, I've just got this fucking this vision of Peter Undr, but it's Cammy.
You would have a vision of Peter Undr, mate. You've had a couple of Peronis. You're starting to get watch him tonight.
So you're more like the Gary Barlow, the talent, but let the good-looking lads perform up front.
What are you trying to say? Me and you have fallen out. No, I told you, I'm fucking got the lot here. I've got the lot here. Yeah, no, I'm the talent and the looks.
It started so your relationship.
I fucking started the band. It's my name. I picked the members. All the fucking masters are mine. You know what I mean? Everything's mine. Took all the money.
Your relationship started so well as well.
Yeah. But so that was that. I had to leave after 7 months, and I've just moved, like you say. But
did you feel any pressure of the £3 million price tag?
I didn't feel any pressure. I've never felt pressure once when I've played a game of football. I don't. That's what I do. When I understand people being sick, being nervous, all this, just start the game. Just start the game. Like, I've had shit games, of course I have. It don't bother me. 3 million. I was more pissed off. Not pissed off, but I was more like, that's fuck it, I'm getting in the Premier. Fuck it, boom. And I played well enough in them games to get a chance in the Prem. But he knew that I had never played in the Prem because I'm vocal about it. So I know I know what's going on. Like, you think you've got that over me. Do you know what I mean? On a Friday we train, we're playing Chelsea, first game of the season at Stamford Bridge. He pulls me and Danzy, says, you ain't in the squad, but I want you to travel to London. I'm like, no, fuck off, mate. Like, trackied up on that, like a fucking water boy. Danzy's like, yeah, we'll have a night out, loving it. I'm like, no. End up going, and I'm fucking standing there like a Joey, like watching the game, and they're in the bar after and that. And it weren't for me. Like, I've got to play. Everywhere I go, I've got to play. I don't care what level it is. Like, if I'm not good enough or you're not going to pick me, just let me know and I'll go. But he didn't want to let me know, so I had to then force it. It's all the politics of it. Oh, well, he's got 2 years left, 2.5 years, we might have to pay him. And rah. Ended up day, fuck it, I'll choose where I go. And I went QPR, 23rd in the champ. Mick Arthur was manager. That's why. Hull were much better. But I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm going to play, but I'm back to London and I'm going to go and do what I want to do. Yeah.
Was it better financially?
No, because I went on loan. I was going on loan.
Also, you still get the same.
They didn't want to pay me up, and that's what I'm saying. They didn't. No one at Birmingham's ever got to pay up. I don't care. Like, if you want me to go, I've got 2.5 years left. Do you know what I'm saying? This is what you've signed me for 3 million. Now you're fucking me off after 5 months. I've moved my family up here. No one cares about that. These fans don't give a fuck. No one gives a fuck about how you're feeling about it. So I go to QPR, staying in a hotel. And I catch fire straight away because of Mick Harford and because of the boys there. We bring Martin Craney in. They just signed Leatherwood. They've been beat 5 by West Brom, but we go 4 games unbeaten. Mick don't get the job. They bring this Italian guy in, Luigi Di Canio. He loved me. I'm playing left wing, 4-5-1, sort of 4-3-3. It's first time playing.
Mick Harford a big reason for signing them? Like you said, you loved him.
Massive reason. I wouldn't have gone. It would have been. I think I had Ipswich as well. I think Jim was at Ipswich. Jim Jilton and John Gorman. I think they were at Ipswich. They wanted me as well, but I just felt like West London. Like, I'm half hour from home. Yeah, I'm half hour from home, and it just felt right. And I didn't mind that they were 23rd. I don't care about that. It does not bother me. I will start games and I'll do well, and I'm an influence on the changing room, so an influence on the pitch as well. I believe that. No matter all the madness, what everyone thinks and says, like I said before, I'm a winner and I'm a team player, and we will win games. We started off brilliant. Mick didn't get the job. He was never going to get the job, and that hurt me a little bit, but I stayed for the 2 months on loan. I go back there, train for the 2 days, they accept the bid. I speak to my agent, we're going to go. I know what they're offering. It's massive money. It's massive money compared. It doesn't even... The fucking chairman, Gianni Palladini, got a lot of love for him, lovely guy, but he's fucking useless. He phones Karen Brady, they're haggling over the million, and he's like, we're going to get the best striker you have. You let him come to us, we pay him fucking 11,000 a week. You only pay him 7. He gives her the information that she can't have. She phones me and says, oh yeah, obviously... I'm waiting January the 11th for 150 lumps loyalty bonus, because they changed it from sign on fee to loyalty bonus with the other little dickhead agent who got it wrong. So my 150 is in that. I'm a day away from it, 10th of Jan. She goes to me, rings me, hello, it's Karen. If you think you're going to be here tomorrow picking up that 150, you are mistaken. If you take the 150, you'll be trading with the under 10s tomorrow. See you later, bye-bye. By the way, I know what QPR have offered you, the chairman told me. So I'm on $8,000 a week here, or 10, or whatever I'm on for going up. Because I don't think, I didn't have an increase because I joined in January. So that was another thing. So I'm still on $7-8 a week. So they've offered me $11,000 a week basic at thingy. That's all fine and dandy. I knew how she was going to play it. So I know I ain't getting a penny out of them, because I've heard no one gets a penny out of them anyway. I don't give a fuck. I don't really care anyway. I'm going to go. So I get a phone call from Briatore. He's on the yacht in Saint-Tropez, and he's like, what's the problem? We offer you the deal, you don't take the deal, you take the deal. You tell me what we're going to do. I was like, well, I'm about 900 grand shy. So they end up giving me 180 grand a year signing on fee for 5 years. So I get the whack. So now I go, catch you down the road. Hey, Karen, catch you down the road. See you later.
Where's that boat? Where's that boat? I'll come and sign it.
I go straight down there, and we're on a Friday, and I'm training with the kit on, but I ain't signed the deal. It's still, I'll tell you now, they're running the contract out from the office at QPR to the training ground, bit by bit, 1 page at a time, running it out. I'm signing it as we're doing a warm-up. sign it. Because he wants me to play against Chelsea on a Saturday because I was one of our best players at the time. Doesn't register it in time anyway, so I don't get to play Chelsea. But I signed the deal and we played Chelsea, we get beat, and then they signed a few more players and we start get going, and I'm loving life. I'm loving it. I'm back on board. We've got a good chance. We're there or thereabouts. We're getting good. We're about 15th in the league, but we're starting to knit it together. You can see it's coming together. The manager, useless.
What was that?
Luigi Di Canio didn't speak a word of English. He had a translator, which was another thing
Never
altogether.
going to work.
Never going to work. But he
Would
was
you have stayed and sat it out though?
what do you mean? At Birmingham?
Yeah.
No chance. No, I wouldn't have. There's no way. Looking back, I'd have played for Alex McLeish because they went down. He signed McFadden and all these, and they went down. If I'd have stayed, I probably would have played, but it just didn't make sense to me at the time, and they didn't want me there. And McLeish had made his mind up in that 2 minutes, so I was like, yeah, that's enough for me. I'll do one. And like you say, the opportunity to play for QPR and get that deal and be settled and move back here.
Yeah, and it ended up working out fucking perfect for you, really, didn't it?
Well, yeah, apparently. But financially it did. But 2 months later, I got my leg broken training by my teammate, which has never probably happened before, and it probably won't never happen again. So we want to talk about how it ends up. I went there, was one of our best players for 3-4 months, April the 8th, with 4 games left of the season. We have an open day training where there's kids there with their missuses, and got my leg broken like 4 places by the keeper.
What happened?
On purpose, by the way.
happened?
That's the first time anyone's ever heard this on purpose.
What do you mean it was on purpose?
He 2-footed me, so...
Was the history?
No history. Bizarre sequence of events which you just have
Is
to...
this like a family day where your
Kids in. Open day. Got a game on the Saturday. Fucking, we're nowhere in the league. We're like 15th, 14th. Steadied the ship. We're going to go next year. The keeper's an American keeper, Matt Pickens. Only joined in January. Nice enough kid. Didn't play a minute. Didn't play 1 minute for the club. The only thing he'd done was broke my leg. The only thing of substance. So one day in training, he's having a bad day. And, everyone knows what I'm like. I'm on you. If you're having a bad day, I'm on you. It's always banter. I'm on you. Someone's hit a shot and he's flapped at it. He's turned round. I've pushed him in the net. It's a goal, but it's not. He's thrown the ball at me. I've volleyed it back. He's like half-buddied one, and I'm turned around. He's hit me in the back. Took me down. Like everyone's laughing. I think that's it. 2 minutes later, Martin Rowlands puts a ball through. 1v1. He comes out. So I'm going to dink him. But last minute, I think I smash it. I smash it right in his boat. Not on purpose. I'm going for goal, but he's hit him right on the conch. Right? Bosh. He's raging now. Raging. So by whatever it is, grace of God, 2 minutes later, exactly the same through ball, but it's gone a little bit further. This time I'm dinking him, definitely. So I've looked down, planted my left foot, dinked him with the right, but I'm looking down. As I dinked it, looked up, I've just seen the knees coming towards me, so my left foot's planted. He's hit me just under the knee. I just had a clap. I didn't feel nothing, didn't hurt, just heard a massive clap, and I've just landed somersault on my back. So I'm bang, in shock, and he stood over me giving me the Roy Keane. He's giving it, don't take the fucking piss out of me, all of this. You can't.
He's gone for it.
Yeah, he gave it to Roy Keane, and he's trying to pick me up, and I'm like, mate, you broke my leg, get up. I'm not screaming. They're carrying on playing because they think it's like boot on boot or shin pad or some. Like the boys have said, but I didn't scream or nothing. I'm double hard. actually,
Hey, you've been fucking boxing at 16,
I should have moved the leg. But anyway, so that happens, and you can see it's broken. I think Gaz Ainsworth comes over and he sees that he's a qualified physio. So it's broken.
Gaz is?
Gaz Ainsworth was a qualified physio, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And
What's his reaction?
He's in a good boy band.
Who, the boy or Gaz?
Yeah,
The boy, as he sees me say, you've broke my fucking leg, we're looking down, there's like a red mark on my shin, and it's mutating. It's moving around. So I've looked and gone, big Damien Stewart, the big Jamaican, he's looked and he's been sick. He's seen what's happening to my leg. So I'm fucked. So they come on with a frac pad, the cocodamols and all that, and I'm starting going into shock and that. And we're in the physio room, and what happens is, where we are by Heathrow, if you get an A&E ambulance, it will take you to an A&E hospital. If you go to the A&E hospital, you have to get transferred to London, to the private hospital. So they've got an idea, we'll just take you straight to the private hospital, the one we use. So they try to put me in a Saab, like, saloon car. But I'm 6'1", so I'm in the back and my foot's hanging out and they've slammed the door on my foot. Like, and I'm like, no. It's Benny Hill. It's Benny Hill. Like, Benny Hill. And I'm like, no. So then they've got me out. I've got the frack pad on, like, and they've got me out and they've gone, well, like, we need a 4x4. This is 2008, so every fucker's got a 4x4. Gone upstairs, they're like, well, we need to take Viney to the hospital. Who's got a 4x4? Everyone's going, nah, not me, mate. Like, Damien Delaney, bless him, he's gone, I've just picked up a brand new, like, white Range, the Overfinch. You can take it. And I'm like, they put the seats down. I'm in the boot of a Range Rover Sport going to hospital in Marylebone where I'm going to have the operation. But like the physio,
you need an operation straight away.
But the physio's in the back and another, I think, a player or physio in the back, and if one physio's driving. Oh, I knew. But I'm only on the cocodamol and I'm only on the oxygen. But I think it's the gas in there, like the proper one. But it ain't just oxygen. So they're starting to think, I don't know. But I've rang my mum and gone, Mum, I'm fucked here. Like 2 seconds later, I get a phone call off my brother. I'm on the way to QPR training ground. I'm gonna fucking do Lee Camp. I mean, yeah, you can do that if you want, mate.
You weren't talking about it.
No, he's all right. So, like, half like, I'm saying,
he's a bit of a cunt, but he's all right, Campy.
Campy's my pal, so you're like, I don't know why you've got a problem with him. No, it's really fair. He just jumped the gun thinking I told my mum the keepers broke my leg, whatever, but.
Campy been there when he fucking flip.
Yeah, so it was a nightmare. We go there and like. Yeah, to be fair, it was fucking brutal. Had the operation that night. I didn't have a plaster cast. I broke my leg in 3 places, basically. And it was worse than what people thought. And the situation was really bad. And I was 25, and that was pretty much the end, looking back now. But for so many reasons. I woke up after sort of 2 days on the morphine and everything, and it come up on Sky Sports, like, freak training ground accident, and I was like, that's a lie. And like you say, going back to when I've been lied to before, probably coming from a lot from my childhood, from my dad and stuff, and any manager that's told lies and any person that's told lies, I'm like, we'll just tell the truth, shall we, and see what everyone thinks.
Yeah.
Because I was still well thought of and had 3.5 years left, well, 4 years left, and all this, they're going to look after you and blah blah. I had to roll with it against my natural instinct. It wasn't an accident. So
do you actually like know 100% it weren't an accident?
Well, I'll tell you, because 3 days later, he's begging to come and see me. My missus is there and a couple of the players, Gav Marn, Martin Rowlands, and they're like, Viney, you got to let him come and see you. You can't stop crying. I went, yeah, but my leg's attached to the ceiling at the minute, so I don't give a fuck. He ain't coming to see me because I know what happened. Anyway, he does come and see me, and he walks in, starts crying, and I said, I don't know why you're crying, mate. Like, I'm the one here.
Yeah, my leg's fucking hanging off.
He's got the bag and he's like, I said, listen, I'll be honest with you, mate. The only crumb of respect I'll ever have for you is if you admit what you've done. And he was like, yeah, red mist came down, never happened before. I wanted to let you know you can't take the piss out of me. I'm a piss taker, I'm sure you're aware now. I like to take the piss, that's what it is, but I've never hurt no one. And I've never hurt anyone like that on a football pitch, let alone my teammate. And for me to get round that and for him to know he's done that, like, I needed him to admit that, and he did. And he said, I'll never say that it's anything else.
Can you forgive him?
Who the guy?
I was about to say that, because you say he came in and he said, like, I'm really sorry.
Yeah, but the best thing about it was he bought a present for me. And I'm opening the present, and it's the Lance Armstrong book. It's not about the bike. And I can't quite tie it why he's bought me that book. So I've just thrown that straight out the window. But I'm like, it's not about the bike. I don't understand what you're trying to say here, mate. Like, but in a word, yes.
If you've caused
I'm
the
just
injury,
trying to think of what book could have been relevant.
No book.
But if you'd said to him before he did it, he went, you're going to break his leg badly and he's going to be out for how long and ruin his career, he'd have gone, do you know what, I'm not going to do that.
Have you lost your head at any point during training or in a game? John, have you lost your head?
Nobody would want that to happen.
No.
Never. Nobody would want that to happen.
1,000,000% in training, no. Never lost my head like that.
But he's come out and said...
Derek Greery, yeah.
Red mist.
Yeah, he knew, he didn't want to break my leg. He didn't want to break my leg. He wanted to.
He just wanted to lay one on you, didn't he?
I understand that. I know. Listen, forgiving and forgetting all that stuff, it's fine. What happened was the trials and tribulations for me was that obviously the first rehab was tough for me, and I ended up seeing the doctor and got diagnosed with depression. But the doctor sort of tried to say to me, I don't know if he's done it on purpose or whatever, but he said, the reason why you're depressed is because you ain't got football. It's the first time in your life you've not had football. If football comes back, you should be all right. Take these pills and you might be all right. 6 weeks of the pills, stopped taking the pills. Didn't feel much better anyway. And then just was concentrating on my rehab. But for me, there's a reason I don't head the ball. There's a reason I don't go in for tackles. There's a reason I'm not a physical player, because I was afraid of getting injured. Not afraid of getting injured, someone injured me. I was afraid of being out of the team. So I didn't put myself in positions. You know, players will fly into tackles and stuff like that and think it's brilliant. That's for them. It's not for me. Give me the ball and I'll make things happen.
We learned that even before the injury.
100%. That's why I went injured. I played 285 games by the time I'm 25, from 19 to 25. That's 50 games a year. Like every time, everywhere I went, I played. Every time I was out of the team, I'm leaving. I'll go somewhere else where they want me. Bang, that's how it happened. So to get to that point and get injured like that in training was so hard for me to take, because I didn't believe that was my path, because I was careful about that. Do you know what happens after that? When you come back and you're doing the same thing, I don't head the ball and tackle, it's because I've got injured. But before, I never done it anyway. Yeah. So what happens is, I struggled with dealing with it. I came back in May.
So what happened with your bone then? How did your bone get fixed?
Well, they cut me open again, took the pin out, put a fatter pin in, and broke my fib again. So it was a double fracture 6 months after I'd already had a double fracture and had the operation and done the whole rehab.
Right.
So, and I'd already been diagnosed with depression. So now my head's rolling completely off. I'm November, December, and I'm back to square one in April. So I end up coming back in May. That was 2009. I played 2 games and then we were off for the summer. Came back, Jim Magilton was manager. First game of the season, I'm not playing. Come on for 20 minutes against Blackpool, I think. Go out for a header. Someone's kicked me and my hips popped out a joint. Gone back in, but there's problems. I can feel it. It's like vibrating, but I'm the last sub, so I'm carry on. Go play against Exeter. Play 60. You can feel it. I'm thinking, how's my luck? Like, I'm back, but now I'm fucking got this. 2-3 months in, it's worse and worse and worse, but we're under a bit of pressure. Jim's under a bit of pressure. Magilton had come in. Jim Magilton and John Gorman had come in. I was playing. I played after that. I got in the team, was playing probably 6-7 games. Get beat 2-0 at Swansea, and I'm the only person dropped. But with the second operation, I refused to go to Paris and have the operation done, because the owner, Briatore, demanded I go to Paris to have it done, because he said the surgeon had fucked up the first time, but it was a lie, because the surgeon hadn't. It was just science didn't match up.
Yeah.
So he wants me to go to France, and we have a sort of disagreement about it. And it's on me. It's not on the physio. It's on me, and I don't go. So after that, he starts calling me Dr. Vine, and he's on me. Do you know what I mean? The owner's on me, and we're not getting on great. And he's sort of like the dictator style owner. So it was tough. He didn't want me in the team. So every time he's now telling managers not to pick me, and that was what Jim was up against. And to be fair, I didn't play for a couple of months. And then Jim come to me the day we played Watford. We get beat, and that's when he got sacked with a headbutt at Akos Bizaki.
Yeah. Were you there?
Yeah. He headbutted at Akos Bizaki.
We've heard about it.
Yeah.
Have we?
I think it was 2 things. I think Jim was a little bit past a hothead, would lose his temper, and Akos was non-responsive to anyone shouting at him. So the spectrum was wide. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But he only put him on for 20 minutes. He didn't do nothing wrong. We lost the game, but he was under Big P at the time. And he just, I think Akos threw his boots down, and like Jim's going, do you think I pick on you? Do you think I pick on you? And he's like, well, yeah, you do. And then it's like red rag, and he's got closer and closer and closer. Then it's like he's sitting down and he's in his face. He's sort of head to head, and then sort of flicked him on a little bit, like not a Glaswegian kiss or nothing, but it was enough to be contact made. Ajiman stands out, was like, go on then, headbutt me, and he's like, no. And I'm like, yeah, exactly, no. But it was a bad situation. They ended up getting the police in.
Yeah.
They got the police in. CID came in, tried to interview the boys. I didn't do the interview. Fuck that. But yeah, it was bad. It was messy. But the club was fucked at that time. Don't even know if it's much better now. But
Was it that bad when he would pick the team? He would try and influence the team.
he tried to with Dowie. I remember because I'd broke my leg and I was trying to come back, and Dowie's manager, and Dowie was under a bit of pressure, and he told him to play a certain team. And to be fair, I think Dowie's team had about 8 of the same players in it. Do you know when their teams matched up? But there was like 3 maybe Spanish or Italian players in Flavio's team that weren't in Dowie's team. So what Dowie done was he went and done set pieces with no one of that team in his. It was like the Rezzies. So matey's on the balcony watching, losing his nut, thinking he's playing all these. So Dowie knew this was the Friday or whatever. I'm on Soccer AM the next day. So like they've sacked him. Like he's gone. He didn't even get sacked. He walked off the training ground and just grabbed his clothes and carried on going because he knew what was happening. Fair play to him. And then I went on Soccer AM the next day and they're grilling me about it, and they've already vetted me. You can't say this, you can't say that. So I'm sat on the sofa just going like,
Can't say anything.
you know what I mean? You just bullshit, innit? So that was happening, but he was just a control freak. He was a control freak. Shouldn't never be anywhere near a football club. Hasn't got a clue about football. Nothing. Like just an arsehole, mate. Absolute arsehole. And it culminated in I'd made my comeback, and Dexter Blackstock was our top goal scorer with 4 points, 5 points outside the playoffs. Only recognised centre forward, and he got rid of him to Nottingham Forest day for a game. And Paulo Sousa done the press after the game. I think we drew with Palace. I'd come back and played 20 minutes. He does the press, and he's dropped a fucking couple of bombs. I don't know.
Sousa has.
So I'm coming up in the lift, and they've gone, we want to do the comeback. I'm like, yeah, sweet. What do you think about Dexter leaving? I went, well, it's a bit of a strange one. He's our top goal scorer. Only fit centre forward, and with 4 points outside the playoffs. It's a fucking strange one, that. But Paolo's already stuck the knife in saying, well, they've got rid of my centre forward without telling me, which was true. So I've sort of reiterated, but in a different way. So the next day it's in the paper.
In a naive way, like.
Yeah, fucking just glad to be back. And the next day it's in the papers, and the chairman phones me, who's Italian as well. I was like, oh, you fucking make my job very hard. Like, you say these things. I was like, I ain't said nothing. Look at the quotes. She said it's a strange decision. Anyone in the world can see it's a strange decision that your top goal scorer goes if you're 4 points outside the playoffs. Do you know what I'm saying? Anyone knows that. So he sacks him. Anyway, sacks Sousa, which I didn't like. And then he summons like 8 of us to his office in Knightsbridge. You know, I'm one of them, and I don't want to go. Like, no chance. But I have to. They send a car to pick us up, and we go there.
Why didn't you want to go?
Because, like I said, I've never been one to talk to owners, chairman. It's fuck all to do with me, mate. And you've just sacked the manager. You know that I like him. I had dinner with him the night before you sacked him. He knows I had dinner with him. Like, I love Paolo. We got on great. Whatever. Sacks him, and they made up this bullshit. And it's so brutal what was going on at QPR that it's not even believable. There was 2 fellas that run a fucking website, We Are the Rangers, whatever it was, a forum. These 2 guys were in the training ground every week with the chairman. These 2 bellends, right, were in the training ground talking to players, talking to people, had the inside track of everything. They're releasing shit on this fucking website.
Like a fans forum?
Fans forum. It's
but the chairman was
in their pocket, right? So they do this shit, right?
He wants the fans on his side.
Yeah, so they're doing this shit, and they're like, Paulo Sousa's this. They said, do you know what they tried to say? They tried to say that Paulo Sousa had released sensitive information about the squad to the fans, right? They had this whole, like, fabricated portfolio of Peter Ramage ain't good enough, Lee Cook's got a bad knee, shouldn't have signed, Lee Camp ain't good enough, all like hammering his players, which wasn't true, but it's all propaganda. So we go to this office, who's in there? Damien Delaney, Peter Ramage, Lee Cook, all the ones he's supposedly hammered. The only fucker that's in there that likes the manager is me. So I'm sat at this table thinking, how does this go? Anyway, he walks in like Julius fucking Caesar, the fat prick, and he's giving it you know, so anyway, Van, I know you're going to say sorry because I'm like, sorry? what? No, mate. He's like, no, you apologise because, if you're not intelligent enough to talk, don't talk to the press. I said, 2 seconds, mate. Number one, I'm not apologising to anyone. And number two, don't insult me ever again. I don't give a fuck whose office it is, mate. He stood up, we sat down. It's like some mental meeting of the gods in Rome, and I don't want nothing to do with it. So we're having it. We're having it. He stood up.
Were you game?
I'm game. Mate,
Get the pads out.
You've had to fucking do it.
Boltzmann.
Olympic fucking boxing.
I can win this one. No question about that.
Get the pads out.
So I'm like, nah, mate, no apology from me. And then he's gone, what? And he said, you talk about Dexter Blackstock, 150,000. That was what 150 grand was the loan fee to Forest, right? 150,000 pound doesn't even fill up my private jet. All the boys start laughing, sniggering. It's a funny joke. I'm like, it's funny, is it? I was like, that ain't funny. He's like, you don't know what you're talking about. I said, I do know what I'm talking about. I know, because Dex is my mate. So he goes, I'll prove it. He goes, Gianni, ring him. So I'm thinking he's ringing Dex. I'm thinking, if he sticks me in here, Dex, I'm fucked. I'll start shrinking in the seat. I'm like, oh no. So anyway, he phones Dex's agent, right? Eric Walters. He phones him. So as soon as I hear his voice, I'm like,
This is the owner, isn't it?
This is the chairman phoning the agent on behalf of the owner. So I'm like, fuck this. Phone the agent. If you phoned Dex and Dex said, yeah, that's true, I'd have been like, fuck off. I'd have been like, done. Anyway, he phones the agent and the agent's like, yep, that's true. Dex wanted to leave. Dex wanted to go. No, I'll tell you what happened. They offered Dex a new deal in January. He signs the fucking deal in January because Fulham are after him. They don't put the deal through. The chairman, because the owner doesn't like him. So he thinks he's getting money at the end of January, getting the sign-on fee and the new wages. Nothing hits. So he realises, phones his agent. His agent's like, nah, they didn't sign the deal off. So the owners refused to give him the deal, and now he can't go to Fulham because the window's over. So Dex says, I'm never playing for the club again. So they have to send him on loan to Nottingham Forest and get the 150 back. So then it's with a view to a move. So Dex says, I'll never play for the club again. Dex is my mate. And Dex might not admit that, it doesn't matter. It's my, like I said before, it's my stories, my truths, that's it. So from then, I'm having it with him. And he's saying shit to me, you'll never play for this fucking club again, I'll pay you tomorrow 500 grand. I said, 500 grand, I've got 3 years left, mate. That's nowhere near it, mate. Nowhere near it. So with that, that's when it started. So I can't play for the team, for any manager. And it goes on and on and on. And it's just so much happened until Warnock comes in. Warnock comes in and says, like, rings me. I'm supposed to play a Reggie game. Rings me. I've tried to sign you 6 times in my career. 3 times this year. You can play anywhere across the top 4. You'll do for me. Come and meet me. All right, sweet. I'll meet you tomorrow.
You'll do for me.
I need a pick.
I've heard that, haven't we?
Warnock phones me and says, come and meet me. We need a meeting. Like, I know the problems you've been having. He's got the job. He's full of beans.
Bearing in mind, Neil Warnock on the podcast, I think, is our
Royalty.
messiah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we've heard nothing but good stuff.
Yeah. So, do you think, should I give a fuck about that?
No. I'm just saying.
I'm
just saying that we could possibly contradict.
No.
It
It will, but that's fine. Listen, I don't give a fuck if anyone believes a word I say or whatever.
I believe you.
Don't. You can't say that because I ain't said it yet. So that's a lie.
He's just a little ass, mate. He'll just say whatever he feels.
Yeah, you believe me and him.
Yeah.
But like you've said before, it's all about personal experience.
100%. I can only tell my truth, and that is, I'll go to my grave telling my truth. If someone else wants to tell different stories, that's completely up to them.
Forget all this about Warnock. Forget all this about money and whatever. You know, when you came back from the injury, how hard was it? Did you come back as good a player as you were before the injury? How did you react to that?
I never had a chance. I never had a chance at QPR. I never had a chance to be the player that I was before. Now, the best I played since then was when I was at St Johnstone, and I played nearly every game and played left wing and was joint top goal scorer, and we finished 3rd in the league for St Johnstone, the highest they've ever finished, and I was a massive part of that team. If I'd have been given the chance at QPR and been given the backing and the support that I needed, I 100% believe I would have come back just as strong. But the main problem was I fell out with the owner, and then after that, the last chance I had at QPR with 2 years still left, was Neil Warnock, and he basically brought me to the table, told me to give me the chance, and then stuck the knife in. And then after that, I can't get a club for love or money on loan or anything. I went on loan a few times. I was never fit to go on loan. I was never allowed to train with the first team. People don't understand like the levels they were going to keep me away from the football team. People don't understand what they were going to. Tell him I wasn't allowed to be treated by a physio. I wasn't allowed to be. They weren't allowed to treat me. I had injuries that went untreated. I had the PFA on speed dial. The PFA came in numerous times. PFA came in for a meeting with me. I walk up the stairs. They're fucking dunking digestives in a cup of tea with the manager laughing, turn around. I went to training 7 months in a row every day, crying my eyes out, right? That was my time from dropping my kids to school to the training ground for me to have a cry, to let it out, get to the training ground, wipe my eyes, come in, I'll take you all on. I'll take you all on because you've made it this. You've made it this. This is not about football. You've made it about money. You've made it about greed. You've made it about politics. And I'm not having that. If anyone looks at it when they were a 6, 7-year-old boy and says they wanted to play football and wanted to be in the England team and win the FA Cup, that's not football for me. What happened to me is not football. I needed someone to show a bit of faith in me at the time at QPR, and all I got was people not showing any faith in me and not giving me the opportunity in the right way to get myself back fit and get myself playing and get myself. All I wanted to do was honour my contract at QPR and play football. That's all I wanted to do. So when that was taken away from me for whatever reason, I'm going to react badly to that. And listen, I've already told you at 25 with the first rehab after my teammate has snapped my leg in two, which probably hasn't happened to anyone else in football in training. So this is a unique situation. I was already struggling with depression. I was already struggling with things in my head, rights and wrongs. I was already struggling. So this is just another dig until it gets to the point where you can't really take anymore. So I had conversations with my mum at 28, 29. I was going to retire. I had money in the bank. I had houses. So what kept me going? The competitive spirit that I've got that comes from my mum and my brothers and my dad of playing football every single fucking day. At 29, I still thought I had enough to give. I went back, done the bit at St Johnstone, thought I'd earned the contract at Millwall. Steve Lomas doesn't sign me at Millwall. I go back to Hibs. I'm at Hibs. After a month, I'm sat in a room in Edinburgh, in a 2-bedroom flat in Edinburgh on my own. Didn't have a fucking clue what was going on, and that's when problems really started. And the walls are caving in, and I had no interest in the money. I haven't got any addictions. I'm not an alcoholic. I went to rehab. I went to rehab in 2016. I've done the 26 days in the Sporting Chance. I have therapy. I've had therapy for 4 years. I don't go to meetings. I'm not an alcoholic. I'm not a gambler. I was never a gambler. But I lost 700 grand gambling at that point because I had no attachment to money. I didn't give a shit about the money. I realised at 30 years old that was it. It was done. I realised in my head I was done. And I didn't know what to do about it. So
Done with what?
Done with the business, done with football, done with everything, and was just like, this is bullshit. Like, I've stuck in there with the worst treatment for 3 years. I've stuck in there. I've come out the other side. I've done well at St Johnstone. They didn't even offer me a deal at St Johnstone. We finished 3rd in the league. I didn't even ask for a new deal. Going back to it, I'm on £1,500 a week. We're 3rd in the league, and I didn't even go and knock on their door for a new contract, and they released me. And I was the 2nd top goal scorer. But I thought Steve Lomas told me he was taking me to Millwall on a 2-year deal, £2,000 a week. That didn't happen. So I left him a voicemail, called him a fucking ginger cunt, whatever. That happened. I end up signing for Hibs. I get a little injury. Pat Fenlon gets sacked. Bang. Everything's gone mental. So I go to the club. I start seeing a psychoanalyst. I start getting CBT therapy. They talk about existential crises, things that happen in my life. They start talking about call of the void, all this kind of stuff where, do you know about the call of the void, where you stand on the edge of a cliff and you think I'm going to jump, but you don't. Have you ever had that feeling? The call of the void is you get to the edge and then you jump. And I've jumped. I've got to places and thought, you know what, I'm fucking doing this. And when you do that, you come through the other side. And I'm happy. I'm the happiest I've been now. For the last 6-7 months, I've been the happiest I've been for a fucking long time, right? And that's because I've let go of anything, any feeling towards people. Like I tell you, I don't give a shit. I don't want any investigations to anyone. I don't give a fuck about anything to do with anyone from my past in football. I'm just telling you, that's how I felt. That's how people made me feel, and that's what I went through.
Was there something that spurred this on where you thought, I've had enough?
I'm playing. I left Hibs and I go to Morton for the last 3 months of the season. Sorry. Kenny Shields is manager, and they're 10 points adrift in the Championship in Scotland. Play against Dumbarton. Have you ever been to Dumbarton?
No.
So I play against Dumbarton, and Dumbarton play on a racing track, a banger racing track. It's rented to the football team. Playing there, and we're 1-0 down, and we need to win this game. And I'm getting pelters from the fucking 75 fans in the crowd. So I've turned around and I've given it that one.
Are they giving you shit because you weren't playing well?
No, give me shit because they didn't. It was the fans of Dumbarton. But where I'm at is if you can hear everything. You fucking stupid beardy cunt and all this. I've got the big beard on and that. It's just where I'm at, and I've just given that one. Fuck off. Got sent off. We get relegated. My last professional game of football was away to Hamilton. Right, we got beat 10-2. Right, I missed the penalty. I gave away a penalty and got booked. The ball rolled under my foot 4 times. Right, so if that's not an indication to tell you that you got to fucking stop playing, and I'm 30,
It's time to go.
and I'm 30, and I'm 31 at the time. If that's not an indication, then I don't know what is. So my brother was at the game and he drove me back to mine and was like, I don't know where you go from here. Where I've gone from there is. That was 2013, I think. Where I've gone from there is, it's been tough. After that, it's been tough. When you can be the best professional, when everything's against you, that's when you can be the best professional. When everything's against me, I have never been able to turn around and go, you know what, I'm still fucking running forward. But I've had a few things against me to be able to do that. I don't think there's been many people that have had as much against them as what I did. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's all I lean to, really. And what I'm trying to say, Parky, is I'm never going to point the finger at someone that it's your fault. That everything that went on was your fault. I had a great 10 years from fucking 15 to 25 on the pitch. Great 10 years. Yeah, we talked about a few things I've gone through, made me a man. I had a great 10 years. Played 300 games of football. What happened? I got injured. No fault of mine. Got injured. And then the politics of football kicked in because I was on a good contract. So now it's like, we'll look after you for 6 months, but then we start demanding shit from you, no matter what, because we're paying you this money. And I tell you what, if I was on $4,000 a week at QPR, I'd have been all right. The fact that I was one of the top earners fucked me.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Obviously, when I signed for Donny, you were on trial.
Yeah.
And bear in mind, I'd played against you at Luton, probably at Birmingham.
Yeah.
So I remember how good you were. When I was at Donny, I don't think you were that player that you were back then.
Yeah, no.
Because, what leads on to what I was saying earlier about the injury. Did you completely recover from the injury? And has that had a mental effect on you?
Oh no, I completely recovered from the injury. Completely recovered phically from the injury.
As good as a player.
I don't think Chris is talking about physically. Yeah.
Just as good as a player. Did you get everything back? Were you the same player, 100% as what you were before this injury?
Physically, yes, and I could have been, because I know how fit I've been for the last 3 months, which is as fit as I was ever when I played for QPR. So my philosophy on that is, yes, I could have, but I didn't get the opportunity to be that player. So when I was at Doncaster, when you were there, that summer was the worst summer. I'd been to Marbella for 5 days with the boys, came back, dropped the bag.
Sounds all right so far.
Came back, dropped the bag, went to Vegas for 6 days. They called me Kid Cuddy, day and night, because I'm at the pool party and the club every night for 6 days. Come back
Day and night.
Day and night. So drop the bag, then go to Glastonbury for 5 days. Split up with my missus just before, in that run up to that. I've done the 16-day stretch on the
Marbella or the Vegas that done a relationship in?
With Glasto. I'll tell you the truth.
Forget the injury, and that's...
Yeah, fuck that. I'll tell you the truth. Marbella...
Were you mates or...
mates all the time. No, lads.
Like players?
Yeah, players, lads. So we've gone to
Lads.
We've gone to Marbella for 5 days. I'm coming back. My missus is taking the kids to Dubai a day later. So I'm going to see the kids for a day and then they're going to Dubai. Don't even want to go with me. She doesn't even want to go with me at the point. And we don't even go with each other at that point. But I've stayed. She's gone a day early because she's got the arse. So she's gone a day early to Dubai. So as I come back, there's no one at my gaff. So I go in. I've got a day and then I'm going Vegas. So I've dropped the bag, cleaned the stuff, bosh, straight to Vegas. But at that point, they're telling me I'm getting a pay up. So I've gone to the bank and got a few more readies out and then gone and fucking like, you're having a right go now when you're in Vegas.
You're having a proper go, aren't you?
You're having a right go. And that's the summer when sort of like the woman from Sky Sports phoned me and was like, is the Vegas story true? But there's a Vegas story about me in a limo, which is true. But there's another story about a pint of Jägermeister, which is also true. So I didn't know which one she was talking about. But James Morrison, the West Brom boy, the Middlesbrough guy, he's told the woman from Sky Sports about the pint of Jaeger. But the limo story is a bit better. So she's gone, is it true? Like the Vegas story. And I've gone, what, the limo? And she's gone, no, the Jaeger, but what's the limo story? So now I'm double. I've got to do both of them. But the Jaeger story is that we was at rehab pool party and the Middlesbrough boys were there. We're there. They're in a cabana. We're in a daybed. We're not cunts. We just got the daybed by the pool there in the big cabana, aircon, TV, the lot. They've got this bottle of Jaeger. It's there all day. I can see it. We're fucking flying through our drink. I keep seeing this bottle of Jaeger. I'm like, Yatesy, get over it. I'm saying, these cunts going to drink this or what? And that's our second one. I said, no. I've seen that all day. I've had my eye on it all day. It's your first one. And they're like, they're not. So I've gone, I'll fucking drink it. I'll do it in one. And they're like,
the whole bottle?
Yeah, so the rehab, rehab pool party, you get the shakes, don't you? Like you take the top off, you got the flask.
I've been to rehab.
You were in bed.
Yeah, so you've got the flask, you take the top off, it's like a protein shake, innit? So they've poured it in and it's a pint, it's a good pint. And I've took on too much now. And
At what point, Vine, do you think...
I'll tell you what point, because...
I fucked it.
No, I'm looking at it and I'm going, and all eyes are on me now and I'm thinking...
Set the bar.
Yeah, so I've got to do it now, ain't I? So Yates is on me as well, like, so it's like a 4-gulper, like as you do a pint of beer, but it's like, so it's the second one, it's hit me, but I've soldiered it, it's gone.
Yeah.
I've chucked the protein shake thing, I'm by the pool, and Yates has just gone, crunch, slapped me around the boat. That's just, I've spiralled in, I'm in the pool. They've had to fish me out of the pool. I'm fucking on the side. I'm gone. The pint of Jaeger, it's absolute carnage. They got like the chicken dippers and they got the sour cream. They've painted my face with sour cream and they're throwing chicken strips in and I'm diving in and getting them like a seal. Bringing them back up. Hey. There was a video of me. I'm like that. I'm like that, bringing them back, sour cream everywhere, bringing them back up. So yeah, but the same trip, I sort of went with a few boys, Wayne Routledge, Hogan Ephraim, a few boys QPR. But we've powered up with Joey Barton and the Scouse lads. They're out there on a stag do, like a few of the boys. Josh, Andy Mangan, a few other boys, Josh Wilson. So I'm knocking about with these. I've met them before. I'm knocking about with them. We're going heavy, double heavy.
Mangs can't drink, by the way.
Mangs can't drink, but he's good value. He's good value. No, I love Mangs. But yeah, so we've had a few days, proper days, right? We're at this day, right? Caesars. And we're just chilling. We have a couple of strawberry daiquiris, but Colin Calderwood's there, and Joe's obviously at Newcastle, so Calderwood's a coach there. We've bumped into him. The lads are like, we need to go, like, we want karaoke. So I'm saying, like, yeah, let's go karaoke. Like, the lads will have a go. We go get a limo outside Caesars, and we're like, do you know where the karaoke is? It's an African guy in the big white limo. It's 35 fucking footer. He's gone, no, he's gone karaoke. Yeah. I'm thinking, karaoke, it's got to be karaoke in Vegas. And we jump in, we're like 10, 12 handed in this massive limo. He's driving us fucking miles away from the strip. And I'm thinking, this is moody. So I'm like, hey, mate, where you going? No, I know a place. We turn up at this ramshackle casino in this car park, mate. And I'm like, it's like a bungalow. And he's going, yeah, there's karaoke in here. But I'm thinking, nah, steady here. He goes, I'm going to go check. The driver says, I'm going to go check. He parks the limo up. One of the boys goes in with him. He's left the engine running and the tunes are on. Right? But the cubby hole's open. So I'm like, lads, he's the engine. He wants me to drive, doesn't he? Hey,
He's asking for it.
He's want me to drive this limo, doesn't he? And they're like, no. So I've gone like to climb through it, but it ain't tight. It'd be tight for you. It ain't tight for me. I'm slipping in. But the boys are grabbing me to pull me back, and then one of them just let go, and I've gone through. So now I'm in. I've shut the thing, and I'm like, I'm going for it. So they're in. So I've whacked it into drive, and I'm just doing a 5-10 mile an hour flight going along in this car park. Get a bit quicker. Start getting you get a bit giddy, don't you? Here we go. Yeah, tunes are on, and then I go right. It's in a car park, but there's cars stacked up. So I go round the first bit, but the second bit's a bit tight. Like the car and there's a big enough gap to get a normal car through. But I'm like going round. Oh, this is tight. So I've hit the brake. And Joe's gone, nah, I'm getting out. I can't have this. About 7 fucking warrants for his arrest anyway. So he's out. A few of the boys get out. 2 of the boys stay with me. So I'm like, oi, put it in neutral, push the limo back, and then I'll be able to get it through. So we've pushed it back, whack it in drive again, and I go, vroom, but it goes crunch. It scrapes against the car. So I've just drove back round. The geezer's come out, he's going mental. Like the driver's going mental.
Because it's not a proper sipper.
But it ain't even karaoke. He's lost his nut with it, isn't he?
You're hoping for a turn.
So I tell her that, and he's like, I'm going everywhere. So I've put, but I don't know how to put it. Like the gear sticks on the steering wheel. I've never drove in the States, so I'm like, it's still in drive, but I've got my foot on the brake, and he's pulling me out the gaff. So as he's pulling me out, I'm like, no, he's just going to... It starts rolling. So he jumps in, stops it. And he's like going mental. And I'm in swim shorts and 1 flip-flop, right? That's all I got on. So he's going spare at me. And I'm like, mate, slow down a minute. It was banter. You're shit banter. Give you that. Shit one. I'm sorry, but I've had to go. Anyway, he's grabbing my passport out of my shorts. I've got 3 passports in my shorts, not just mine. I've got a couple of the other lads. And he's grabbing it out. And I'm like, what are you doing, mate? Get off here. And I'm trying to cash him off with 100, 200. I'm going up, and he's going, nah, not good enough. And he went, right, he's going to check the car and then drive off. So he walks around it. He don't see it's got a massive black stripe down the side where I've scraped the car. But he hasn't seen it. So he gets in, and we're about to go, and the security guard from the hotel, everyone's gone, no, you've missed a bit. And he's seen the dent. Oh, well, he's gone absolutely spare. He's grabbing me, holding me like this. I've said, boys, you better go. They've got off, and I've just pushed him, right? But he's done like the Paul Alcock, like the fucking Palo de Canio when he pushes the ref. He's done the stagger, and I'm like, hold on a minute. Then it's all kicked off. So I've ran, and I can hear sirens and everything. So I've done a left, and I can see the strip, but it's miles away. So I've gone to run across the road, and I've been hit by a cab. It's only going 10 mile an hour. The lights were red.
But it's been run over?
Mate, it's, in Vegas, you've got the 6 lanes. So I've started going when it's red, and then in the last lane, the cab started going. And it's hit me thigh high. I'm on the deck. I'm like, are you all right? And he jumped down. He's like, what the fuck, man? What are you doing, man? Jaywalking. I was like, fuck that. You just run me over. What about me? And he's
Fuck me, it's the lead singer from Two-Tone.
Fucking hell, I'll have you performing tonight, fucking Bellagio. And I've gone jumped up, I'm all right, but with the sirens going, I've just kept running, and so I've ran, jumped into Bally's, the first casino on the strip, and I got myself a disguise. So I got this orange, Nevada County Jail hat and a hangover t-shirt. So they think I'm fucked. I've been nicked. So I'm walking into Planet Hollywood where them boys are, and they're all playing the craps table, and I just walked past and just posted up on the corner of the craps table, you right, guys? And they've looked round and seen me, and I was like, hey! That is fucking mental. But that was that summer. So then I go Glastonbury, and then obviously that's when I turn up. So no, I probably weren't the same player. But at that point, I worked hard in that pre-season to get myself to a place that I could still do something. Do you know what I mean? I'm not expecting, after what I've been through, to come and catch fire straight away. It's very, very hard. Listen, like I say, we're going back to it. Have I been the most professional person at every single junction? No, of course I haven't. Has everyone?
I don't think there's many as, mate.
On that note, mate, we need to talk about your trips to Marbella.
I was about to say Jimmy Walker.
Yeah, no, we've done 7-8 years on the bounce in Marbella. And
Where were you with Jimmy?
I didn't play with Jimmy.
Makes it even better.
I quite liked going away with people from other clubs because if you've been with someone for 8 months, 9 months of the season, it's nice to pal up with other people and have a good 5 days carnage with people, sort of thing. So
just imagine the Brentford team out on a night out like Dennis Trumbull. Hold on, wait.
Yeah, well, I've done the record.
Are you with us?
When I done the record, didn't I? I've done 6 Christmas do's in London without going on my own Christmas do 1 year.
Yeah.
So I've done the Coventry one. I think I've done the Middlesbrough one. I think I've done the Portsmouth one. I've done 6 Christmas do's in London. I actually sorted out some of the Coventry Christmas do in London when I was a QPR player. So the one that was off the back of. Have you had Liam Lawrence? You've had Liam Lawrence on, haven't you? So did he tell you about our fight? No, because he obviously lost. He obviously lost then, didn't he? Because you're not going to tell the story.
Liam's a handy bastard.
Is he? But can he move like me?
He's not been at it since he was fucking 16,
So
has he?
we'll do that one, right? So it's Tuesday, Cheltenham Tuesday, right? First day Cheltenham Tuesday. They're the Pompey boys. I've been training with the Pompey boys because, like I say, I had to get the FA permission to train with Portsmouth. Cottrell was manager. But this was after that. So it's March. It's Cheltenham Tuesday. They've been at Cheltenham. Kitson, Hayden Mullins, Lenny, 6 or 7 handed. They are. I'm out with 2 or 3 boys in London. I'm in the Mayfair Hotel. They've posted up. They're bladdered. They've had a skinful at Cheltenham, innit? They've got back to London. Boom, we're on it. Go Funky Buddha. Crunch, crunch, crunch. At this point, like I told you about the pissing and the shitting, like coming to football in a bad way. Like people were, for me, people were carnage at some point. Leaving shit.
Too unacceptable.
People were pissing on people, shitting, leaving shits everywhere. Yeah, it got bad. I'm not going to say I wasn't involved because I was, but so this particular, I started getting into a bit of shirt ripping, right? Ripping people's shirts and the cardies and that. You know, people are spending a few quid, but I'm wearing a Gap t-shirt, £3 because I know it's going off. So I'm. Lenny's
come prepared.
Lenny's posted up with a fucking £300 Prada or D&G shirt. You know, he likes the tight one, doesn't he, with the pecs out and all that. Like, do you know what I'm saying? And so we're doing it. So it happens, and I've ripped his shirt. Right, I've gone buff, but the top one stayed on. So it looks even worse. He's wearing a cape. It's gone like that.
Was it unprovoked? Had you spoken to him all night?
Yeah, no, but been with him having a drink and that and everything, and then like blah 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 blah. Ripped the shirt's gone, but he's got one still on, and it you know it's ended on a night, but it's gone down like a fart in a phone box. It ain't gone down well at all, right?
See, I think it's going down like that for me and all of that, and mine.
But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Where are you gonna take it? Like fight or what? Do you know what I'm saying? Like
John's not a fighter.
So don't get the hump then.
I'll just go like that, mate.
Yeah, it's time to go home. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I understand that. But that's where we're at. So, no, mine's got ripped. Don't worry about that. Mine's gone, but mine's a £3 Gap or whatever. So I don't care. So
Was it Liam that did yours?
Probably, yeah. I think it was. Probably. But I've definitely done his first. But I've done other people's. I've done people's. And then we end up where we're sort of around a corner and everyone's had a drink and that. And so I'm trying to square it off and everything. And I was like, look, he's got the ump outside the Mayfair Hotel. Yeah, and he's giving us fucking Prada or D&G or whatever. It's £350. So I've pulled out some money, yeah, but I've only got about like 140 probably. So I've gone to him 20. But this boy's watching. I've gone, is that enough? I've gone 40. Is that enough? 60? 80? I'm going like, what on earth? And he's just gone, threw the money up in the air like that. And I've gone, that's, to be fair, it's on the ground, the money. I've gone, that's poor, mate. And with that, he's tried to go for me. Right, he has, but I've got the movement now because I've done I'm better than that. Slipped it, crunch. So we're on and we're having a roll around, and they've let it go. The other boys, we're having a proper roll around, and I've flipped him over, and I'm sitting on him like that, and like I'm going to go for it, like it's going, and then the boys have come in, like, do you know what I'm saying? Like right at that critical moment, I've probably overpowered him there, and I'm going to give him...
In your opinion?
I'm going to give him a little clip there. But if you come on a show like this and don't mention it, that obviously means you take the L, doesn't it? In my opinion, I'm happy to tell the story. But if you're not, do you know what I'm saying? I don't really mind. But that was happening. So, that was one. See, we go Marbella every year for 7-8 years. But I can see people off on a 4-day stretch. So day 2, they've had enough of me. Because I don't have hangovers. I don't have hangovers. Never had a hangover.
At all?
Never had a hangover. So We can have another 4 bottles of wine if you want. We're probably not going to because we're sensible, right? But I'll go again tomorrow. So if I'm away, my thing was I'll go away and have it. And I come back and I don't mind going 3-4 times a year. If I'm playing football, Saturday, Tuesday, which if you played the games I did before the age of 25, you play Saturday, Tuesday, you don't get a chance. You might go on a Tuesday night or a Saturday night with a few beers. I weren't bad at all. When I wasn't playing, that was the worst. And then when I was not playing and completely out of it, I'm fucked. So if I go away, I'll do 6 days straight, not a problem. Right? So I'm seeing people
like
off.
10 o'clock starts?
Every time. 10 o'clock, bottle of Heineken, game of pool, see you later, bosh. Full English, let's go again. Cup of tea, all of it. So we're seeing people off. So Jim, this day is day 3, I think. Day 3 or 4 of a 5-day stretch. We've gone to Bentley's place, Sala now. It used to be Buddha Beach. We've gone there. He's with Platty, Clive Platt. I'm with Yatesy. Yatesy's a criminal. Yatesy is a criminal. Right? Love Mark Yates, love him to bits, but he's a criminal, right? So we're there, and me and Yatesy are getting onto people early doors, like, fuck, this is 11.
Too early.
This is 11:12.
Yeah.
He's gone. See that Buddha Beach, right? That Buddha Beach bar in Marbs it's got a restaurant. And then it's got the bar and the pool, but it's all thrown into like the smallest area ever. Shouldn't have a restaurant. Anyway, he's with Platty.
Clive Platt.
Clive Platt, yes. They're with Cosh. He's with Platty, and I'm with Yatesy. We're with a few others, but we're floating. So like, Jim sat down at the table. So he's obviously ordered food, right? It's because he's at the restaurant bit of it.
Jimmy Walker, innit?
Yeah, Wacker. Yeah, Wacker's ordered the food, and he sat there, and Platty, I think Platty's standing up doing whatever. So I'm going, oh, they're over there, mate. Have a look at this. There's a jug of sangria on the table. So they're having a sangria, fair play to them. Now, me and Yatesy have concocted a little plan, so this is how it went. It weren't supposed to go as far as it went, right? But I've gone up on the left shoulder, and Jim's waiting for his food and that, and I've just necked like a big glass of sangria with all the fruit and everything. I've necked it. And I can do the thing where you swallow and then regurgitate.
Right, yeah.
So I've gone like that.
Are you a fucking swallower?
Gone wallop. I've got it there. And then I've gone the other side of him and I've gone blah. And I've puked it back on his plate, right? And it's all come up, all the fruit, saliva, the sangria, the lot. With that, Yatesy's just come over, salt and pepper, knife and fork, and just had a little chew up and started eating it like that.
No way.
Yeah, just started eating it. And then Jim's just got the napkin after he's done that.
Time's time.
Yeah. So that was heavy. That was heavy. But there was one with Wacker when he didn't go in the pool at Ocean Club all day, right? All day. We're there all day. 11 till 8 p.m. stretch. Like, we'll see the fucking arse out of it. So we're chatting away, a couple of fucking Doris's on the phone, whatever. Wacker's got the black t-shirt on because he's carrying a bit of timber by this point, right? He ain't took it off all day and that and everything. He ain't been in the pool, but I love the pool. So I'm in the pool early doors. So last minute, he's like starting to get dark. He's gone, watch this. He's ran and he's dived in the pool, but half in the dive, I know he's done the shallow end. He don't know that. He's gone crunch. Hit his head, right? I've heard the crunch. I've gone, oh no. He's come up and he's gone, I'm all right. I'm fine. The blood's just gone wallop. The blood's gone out, claret everywhere, all in the pool. He's got out. With that, he goes to the what do you call it? The medical place at Ocean Beach, like a little room, like a medical room. He gets the fucking Terry Butcher bandage on the thing all night. He's got the.
Came back out.
Yeah, he stayed out. He's got all day. He's got the bandage all night. He's got a little red dot there. And we're walking around. We're in the nightclubs and that. And he's fucking full on.
He didn't tell that one on the podcast.
Well, he might not like that one going in there. But I don't know why.
It wouldn't, would it?
No, he would.
Listen, I didn't need an invitation. The worst one with a 2 foot was in Vegas because Mikel Leightwood is one of the strongest people I've ever played with or against. Mikel Leightwood's a beast. And I didn't realise, he was at Reading at the time, he'd just come back from a medial injury and I 2-footed him full on in the club in Vegas and I've cleaned him out and he's landed on top of me.
What do you mean 2-footed him?
Like,
you've gone and...
Stand up, do you want me to do it?
No.
Chris, do you know what? He's due one.
Is he?
He's due one around the knee.
Chris, just stand up, mate.
No. Do you know what it is? If you're on say you're somewhere and you're on a dance floor, your feet are in and you're standing. If you do the sliding 2-footer like that way and you take the floor and then they're gonna underneath, didn't they? So it was like that. It weren't malicious. It weren't knee high or nothing. I'm not Roy Keane, but I'd go in and try and it was a thing as well, wasn't it? Probably not for everyone. I say these things are things, but like the pissing, the shitting, and all that stuff was a thing. The 2-footers were there as well, and you know what I mean. I didn't mind throwing one out there just to let people know I'm about. You know what I mean?
2-footed Leisure.
I 2-footed him, and I think he grabbed me by the throat on the floor. Everything about him wanted to punch me in the head, and he would have punched my lights out. Yeah, 100%. That's 100% because he left after that. He'd had enough. Like of the night, he went, "Nah, fuck that," and I was like, "I'm really." You know what I mean, he's coming back from injury, but I was really,
that moment in there when you
100%, and he's my mate, so I was yeah, of course, and like, there's no, I didn't know that I didn't recollect that he'd just come back from an injury and stuff like that, so I was doing it and trying to get like. I just thought it'd be funny, and you know when you think something's funny, and then it's definitely not. But we was at Vegas, and not Vegas, we was in Marbella, and you know the metal ice buckets. You put them on your head and put the thing underneath, so it's on there like Bill and Ben, and jumping in the fucking pool, so it's like crunching your neck and that. Like boys are going straight in with it on, like no holds barred. So there was levels, like in Marbella there was levels.
What about wrestling with the sunglass salesman? With Jimmy?
Oh yeah, mate. Oh yeah. Basically, right. This one, I'm not taking this one as my bad because the look.
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Yeah, the what do you call it? The guys that's the vendors on the beach and everything in Mars. He's come up and he's trying to sell the sunglasses and the Moody watches and all that, but. He had a nice like t-shirt and jeans on, and I like the look of the t-shirt and jeans. So I said, "How much for your clobber?" Like, I'll buy the clobber off. Don't want the Moody fucking Gucci's and all that. I want your vest and your jeans. Like, we'll have a swap up. I have my swim shorts, and he didn't quite understand what I was saying. So I started pulling his t-shirt and that, and then someone maybe had nicked a pair of glasses and all that. So he's lost his head. So we end up getting into a bit of a tussle.
What, you and the
me and the geezer, yeah, me and the vendor. I think it's me and the geezer end up having a roll around on the thing, but then his pals turn up because they're more banded, and I was a bit out of my depth on that one. But there's a good one like in Vegas for the wrestling with Barton because they're all there on a stag do, and
Joey Barton.
Yeah, they're doing a silly thing where they clear the room and they have like the UFC wrestling fights and. He's done a couple of people, like he for his height and for what he is, he's a strong fucker. Like he's not a big guy, is he? But he sent a couple of people packing, including his brother, including his mate. And we're there, and I'm thinking, I ain't getting involved here. But then the pressure's on, so I'm like, fuck it, let's have it.
Jaeger.
That wasn't that day. I don't think I'd have won. I wouldn't have won that day with a pint of Jaeger with me. But we've ended up having like the toe-to-toe proper wrestle, and I've choked him out. So he had to.
Really? Congratulations.
He tapped out. That's a fact. You can ask anyone who was
there.
What,
in the boozer?
No, in Planet Hollywood, in the room. We cleared the room, all the beds and the sofas, and there was like a little ring. And I've ended up choking him out, and he'll take that on the chin. Well, he might not do because you know what I mean. But he should take that. That's a fact.
I don't. Yeah. We've kind of brushed over everything in Scotland, mate. But how do you look back on it?
What, the Scotland?
The old career.
For 3-4 years, I didn't accept a lot of things because I think there's a good part of me that has got enough, not excuses, reasons to say like I didn't get a good deal a lot of time in a lot of places. So I'd have had a lot of bitterness, a lot of anger, a lot of upset for 3 or 4 years. But sort of 2016, from then onwards, I've accepted what it is. I should have played in the Premier League. I thought I was good enough to play for England. You know what I mean? The first time I thought someone was better than me was when I played against Joe Cole, and he was unbelievable. I accepted that, but then I got better. And I think I left a lot there at 29, leaving and not playing for 3 years. At 25, before I broke my leg, I was on the path to where I should have been. And yeah, a lot of things happened, and it's hard for me to take for a long time. And to stop playing at 31, for me, it was criminal because I got so much. So you know, it's took me a long time, and all the stuff I'm doing now in terms of the foundation I'm trying to set up and the path I'm trying to take is like I'm fit and healthy. I'm still playing football. I love it. I've got a 17-year-old, a 13-year-old boy that love football, and I just want to be a role model to them, and I want to show people that you can come back for things, you can get fit. It's never too late to do stuff, and I'm more at ease now than I've ever been with everything in life.
So you're in a good place now, then?
Yeah, listen, I've got no. I say to everyone, you need to learn to live with regrets, and some of the decisions I've made, I'm not proud of them decisions, but I accept that I made them at the time, because if you thought you had the ability to make a different decision, you would have done.
Yeah.
All learning experience.
Yeah, I've got no problem with it, but what I would say moving forward is I want to help people, but I also want people to know how far. If you appreciate your own darkness, that's a method for dealing with how other people can have darkness. Do you know what I'm saying? So my level of darkness has got to be comparable to other people's level of darkness, and that's what I would say. Don't go into it blind, and don't be naive at times. Know that every single business and institution can be an arsehole, and that's no different. Football's no different to that.
But you're looking forward.
I'm living in the present.
happy?
I'm living in the present, because the things I learned from going to rehab is that you have to live in the present. You know, don't get too far of yourself, but don't get dragged in the past. And I live for today. And there's only 3 people that can be disappointed with me, and that's my mum and my 2 children. There's only 3 people that I can be disappointed with, and that's my mum and my 2 children. Other than that, nothing surprises me. Nothing shocks me.
Nothing bothers you.
And nothing bothers me. People let you down, and you let people down. That is life. You can't please everyone. So as long as my mum and my 2 kids are proud of me, and the other way around, everything else is give and take.
Appreciate you coming on, man. And you t-shirt, man. We've got to mention your t-shirt.
Yeah, we mentioned
Romeo's
it.
Broken Heart.
Romeo's Broken Heart. That is a campaign that we started for my good friend's little boy, who was born with a lot of problems connected to his heart. And after sort of 14 months and having 4 major operations on his heart, including open heart surgery, they've sort of said that he needs a heart transplant, but at the minute he seems too ill. He's got a lot of problems, too ill to even maybe go on the donor list. So we started a GoFundMe page, and we raised sort of 15 grand in about a week, which is good, because it takes a lot of pressure off the parents in terms of utilising that money. But the awareness is massive, because organ donation in children is very, very limited. Babies' hearts don't come up a lot, and people won't rush to put their kids on the donor list. So it's just basically an awareness to say, go, if you've got 5 minutes, go and check, because Romeo's mum, Susie, has done all of the website and all of the Instagram. There's a bio, there's everything. It gives you all the information, and it's not just about one boy. It's not just about Romeo. It's about everybody else that's struggling and needs an organ donor, and they're not becoming available. So it's just an awareness thing, and obviously on the back of that, just to raise awareness about things that can or cannot be happening, and when you've got a platform to do it, I think when it's free, you should have a platform to say and to let people know that things like that happen.
We'll put it on everything, won't we?
Yeah, and we're all parents, aren't we?
Yeah.
And I'm sure everybody listening.
All the links out there.
Nah,
Cheers,
man,
man.
cheers.
Top man, mate.
We appreciate it, mate.
Thanks a lot.
Top man, mate.
Cheers. Right,
Anybody else taking for a piss?
you could show about 5 minutes of that.
You know he's gone when the hands go down.
Big man's had a few, hasn't he? Big man's had a few.